best. You got him for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back tonight to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we go side by side with the Extreme Motorsports 99. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important race of the season here in the Pro K&N Series, the championship race, the race of the crown. The question remains, who is going to take over the throne of Hunter McDaniel, the first ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. We are gonna find out by the end of tonight as we go side by side at Homestead Miami Speedway, race 15 of 15, the Chevy Crate 200. That's the Chevy Crate 200. The commentator Sean Zulu, and up in the booth with me is David Everly. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Sean?
Doing good too, thank you. Well, we have a special treat here tonight. A lot needs to be done by the drivers. We're going to have our second ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series by the end of tonight's race the evening. Well, before we talk about tonight's race, let's take a recap from last week's race, the Careers for Veterans 200. That's Careers for Veterans 200, race 14 of 15. In that race, we had Steve Dutz bring it home for his fourth win of the season. That's 4 wins by Steve Dutz. Chris Voyles came out second. Tommy Amasi came out third. Wally Tierheimer came out fourth. Dakota Craig came out fifth. Jason Anderson came out sixth. Jason Eisenhower came out seventh. Hal Amy 8th, Rick Mason 9th, and Gary Woolbot did round up the top 10. Well, moving on to our current points standings here, we have Travis Pryor still leading in points, Wally Tierheimer second place in points, Garrett Helmlinger third place in points, Tommy Amasi fourth place in points, Timothy Hamlet fifth place in points, Eli Green 6th in points, Gary Woolbot 7th in points, Damian Crump 8th, Adam Eisenhower 9th, Jay Pryor 10th, Jason Eisenhower 11th, Caleb Daniels 12th, Andrew Riley 13th, Ralph Vanderforst 14th, Chris Voiles 14th as well. Oh, actually, we have 3 drivers tied for 14th place. Ralph Vanderforst, Chris Voiles, and David White. 3 drivers tied for 14th in points. And we have Brian Wasserman here. Actually, Joshua Gillen 15th. And Brian Wasserman 16th in the points standings. Well, going to tonight's race tonight here, the Chevy Crate 200 Homestead Miami Speedway, race 15 of 15. And tonight we are dealing with an 86-degree Fahrenheit track temperature, 78-degree Fahrenheit air temperature, partly cloudy. That's partly cloudy with late afternoon winds from the north at 2 miles per hour. 50% fuel limit as usual. That is 50% fuel limit, and this track is 1.5 miles in length. And ladies and gentlemen, type it up in the chat, get active, say something, let us know what's on your mind. It is very hyped up tonight, the championship race. I see a lot of names in the chat. Gonna go all the way to the top and give a bunch of shout outs. We have Brandon Ketchum. Welcome back. He is with the team Gillen Motorsports. Gillen Motorsports himself is there. That is Joshua Gillen. Welcome back, Joshua Gillen. Hope both you and Ketchum are doing well tonight. Mr. Gibbs in the chat. Welcome back, Mr. Gibbs. Hope you're doing well. We have Pat T as usual. Pat T, welcome back. Always an honor. We have Online Sim Racing Network himself, Joe White. How are you doing tonight, Joe? Hope you're doing well, man. Going further down this list, anybody else? So far seems like that was it. So ladies and gentlemen, get active in the chat once again. Type it up. Let us know what's on your mind. It is going to be quite the race here tonight. Speaking of the race here, we have the 8-0 of Jay Pryor here currently on the pole. And qualifying is almost over in about, right now, the red flag has just flown. So here before too long, the grid will be ready. And tonight we have a lot of drivers, about 24, 25 drivers roughly, starting tonight's race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, 10th place in points, is the pole sitter here tonight. Mr. Highside himself, 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, starting beside him in 2nd place. We have Wally Tierheimer, the biggest opponent to Travis Pryor for the championship, starting 3rd. Damian Crump, 4th. Brandon Ketchum, 5th. 21 of Steve Dutz, one of the aliens here this season in the Pro Can-N Series, starting 6th. 81 Travis Pryor, points leader, starting 7th. We have David White, 8th. 23 of Matt Ridgway, 9th. And Hal Amy rounding up the top 10. 94 of Garrett Helmlinger, 11th. The 40, that's the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen, 12th. 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Sim Speed Shop is starting 13th. The 7 of Gary Woobot, 14th. 05 of Tommy Emasi, 15th. Jason Anderson, 16th. 25 of Timothy McBrayer, the McDonald's machine, starting 17th. 18 of Rick Mason, 18th. And 31 Andrew Riley, 19th. And last driver qualifying is a 49 of Timothy Hamlet, rounding up the top 20. And more drivers racing tonight. We have James Thorndike, Brian Wasserman, Aaron Mercer, and Chris Voiles here tonight, giving us 24 drivers starting tonight's race. So here before too long, we are going to start rolling behind the pace car. And ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned it once or twice before, race 15 of 15, the race of the crown, the race of the championship. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we end the 2nd season of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro Can-N Series at the exact same time. That means one thing. The opportunity, that's the opportunity to join the Pro Can-N Series next season here with the Extreme Motorsports is opening up. So go to the website, extrememotorsports99.com, drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X, extrememotorsports99.com. click on the Pro K&N series on the website, go all the way down to the bottom of the page, the very, very bottom of the page, and click sign up. There's going to be a button. You can't miss it. It's in the bottom center of the page to be a part of the action next season right here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Well, a lot needs to be done, ladies and gentlemen. 100 laps coming up of white knuckle hard floorboard deep racing by the drivers here tonight. Extreme turn 4 going green. The pace car dips off an 8-0. Jay Pryor holding pace, but the green flag is now out. And Jay Pryor finds the gas pedal while Tierheimer sees it coming in time to challenge Ralph van der Forst for the second place spot, as Ralph van der Forst was caught sleeping. As a result, the outside line just might pay the price, but nope, we are here. Green flag racing. Lap 1. Chevy Crate 200. Race 15 of 15. Pro K&N Series. Extreme Motorsports 99. Oh, a quick caution here on lap number 1. Can I see what happened?
Looks like that's going to involve the 7 of Gary Wolbert here for bringing out our first caution here on lap number 1 as we pull out the Dre broadcast and replay. Taking a look here at the 7 of Gary Wolbert. See what happened. Oh, made contact with the outside wall, and then looked like a driver there. Couldn't get the number, couldn't get slowed down and hit him, but that is going to be our first caution of the night.
Oh man, yes, that's very unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. That was 18 Rick Mason and 7 of Gary Woolbot. Yeah, Gary Woolbot got sucked in by that wall and spun out like no man's business. And unfortunately, he lost control of the machine. But not to worry, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers, as usual, do have one backup car, one quick fix, one fast repair. That's one fast repair. So Gary Woolbot should be able to get back out there and stay competitive. But his machine, well, it might be worse than it looks, so maybe he's better off using it than choosing to, you know, just let his machine hammer that thing out. I mean, his pit crew hammer that thing out, but going back up front, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor is still leading. Wally Tierheimer second, Brandon Ketchum third, Ralph van der Forst fourth, and Travis Pryor in the 5th place spot. And already some drivers trying to save some gas with 3 laps in the 81 of Travis Pryor. The 21 Steve Dutes, both drivers clutching those suckers in. And more than half the field so far riding in the 4th gear, to try and maximize the fuel economy. Because once again, 50% fuel limit. So we should expect to see at least 2 required pit stops in order for them to be able to make it. Yep, looking there in the chat, Pat T, can Maverick Motorsports do it again this season? Oh man, yep, we will know shortly indeed, Pat T. And ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers out there, Maverick Motorsports driver Hunter McDaniel was the first ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. And so far the leader in points, 81 of Travis Pryor as well, is a Maverick Motorsports driver. Looks like Hunter McDaniel is trying to pass on the championship to one of his teammates, because, you know, Hunter McDaniel has not been here this season because he had been promoted to the Track Series and Xfinity Series here with Extreme Motorsports 99. This also gives me a good point. This is another good point right here. The Extreme Motorsports has a lot to offer, ladies and gentlemen. They do have Monday nights Pro K&N Series and a Road Series, Tuesday nights Track Series, Wednesday nights Xfinity Series, and Thursday nights Cup Series. So that's Road Series and Pro K&N Series on Monday nights, Track Series on Tuesday nights, Xfinity Series on Wednesday nights, and the Cup Series on Thursday nights, and they do place you in different series based on the experience that you have. So in this case, when it comes to the oval side of things, you can pretty much view the Pro K&N series as the beginner class, while the Cup series on Thursday nights is the best of the best, the elite. And when it comes to the Pro K&N series, in order for you to be able to qualify as a driver, you do have to have a minimum 1,000 I rating. That's a minimum of 1,000 I rating with a maximum of 2,500 or 2,500. So once again, minimum 1,000 and maximum 2,500. Well, we are back one to green, ladies and gentlemen, going green for the second time this time around, still being led by the 8-0 of Jay Pryor with the help of the 112. Well, this time is the 12. That is Brandon Ketchum on the outside line. Wally Tierheimer with the help of Mr. High Side himself, Ralph Vanderforst. Everybody getting bunched up nice and tight, going green this time around. Pace car dips off, and Jay Pryor finds the gas, but immediately the green flag is out, and Wally Tierheimer saw it in time to maintain second place. Well, I spoke too soon. His inside occupied by the 12 of Brandon Ketchum side by side in turn 1 as we speak. And Ketchum gets around Tierheimer successfully, bumping him down to the third place spot. And one more thing we forgot to mention, the outside line is never ever the place to be on a start or restart unless you have quite the reaction time when it comes to the leader going for it. But so far, Wally trying to take it back away from Brandon Ketchum, but Ketchum holding his own. And so far here we have Travis Pryor moving up one spot, and Ralph Vanderforst moving down 2 spots from 4th place to 6th place, being overtaken by Travis Pryor and Steve Dutz. Speaking of Steve Dutz going against his teammate Wally Tierheimer. They are side by side as we speak. Wally to the inside, Dutz on the outside. Dutz's machine is pushing way tight. He has to let off the gas off the exit of turn 4 to avoid kissing the wall, but he still maintains enough momentum to challenge Wally Tierheimer and clears him, entering turn 1. This is early on in the race, ladies and gentlemen. The race is won by the smartest drivers, the smarter ones out there. By that I mean the drivers who save for the long run. Basically, as usual, the drivers can choose to either, burn now, or I should say lose now and gain later, or gain now and lose later. And what that means is that they can either choose to push it now, go for it, and burn their tires in the process, and they'll become slow in the long run, or they can save tires now and be faster in the long run. They'll overtake those drivers who were not able to save as well as they did. So we're gonna see exactly what drivers fall in what category. Well, for the back in the pack, we have the 12 of Ketchum on the inside of 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Helmlinger on the outside line here behind the 44 of Damian Crump side by side off turn 4. Brandon Ketchum pushed way tight, exiting turn number 1, unfortunately, and lost 2 spots to both Helmlinger and the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Ketchum seems to be having difficulty with that machine. If you remember correctly, ladies and gentlemen, he was in 2nd place in turn 1 after the 2nd restart, or I guess in this case the 1st restart. But then now he's all the way back in the 8th place position. So it looks like maybe he pushed the machine way too much, and now he's just paying the price when it comes to those tires. For the back in the pack, 36 of Jason Eisenhower with the help of the 83 of Hal Amy. Single file. '83 of Hal Amy. Oh man, he smacks the wall off turn number 4. or speed lost or momentum lost, and a bunch of time to go with it, and a lot of damage sustained in the process by Hal Amy. Rear end damage, right side damage, and a little bit of left side damage as well. That's unfortunate. He actually got rear-ended after he made contact with the wall. Wrong place, wrong time by the 28 of Chris Voiles. Had nowhere to go. And that Ralph Vanderforst in the 66 has sustained some right front damage since the last time we checked on him. And tonight, the killer, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be turn number 4. Turn 2, not so much. So turn 4 is something to watch out for. A lot of drivers having some difficulty with pushing off the exit of turn 4. And that wall, as usual, having its arms wide open, ready to claim anybody in its way. And ladies and gentlemen, this might be a championship race, but we have a lot of drivers who are not racing for the championship, but they are still racing to advance their spots in the points standings. Like, for example, the three-way tie that we had beginning tonight's race among Ralph Vanderforst, Chris Voiles, and David White. These guys going at it. At the same time, we have Jason Eisenhower and Caleb Daniels 11th and 12th place in points, only 1 point apart. So these two guys as well going at it to try and advance their spots, at least finishing the top 10 in the points once it comes down to it. And at this point, 16 laps in the field is getting spread out with every single lap. As we speak up front, we have the top 3 drivers within a second of each other. Well, less than a second of each other. But then further, it goes further down the list. First place through 4th place. Well, Jay Pryor versus Wally Tierheim, 4th place and 1st place drivers. 1.7 seconds apart. Then it goes to Damien Crump in 5th place. 3.9 seconds, almost 4 seconds behind the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, and Damien Crump so far under fire from the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen. New viewer tuning into the chat, that is WFO Race League. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting, Mr. Race League. Hope you're doing well. And Race League cheering on the 83 of Hal Amy, who had some great success last week in Michigan. Well, Damien Crump so far and Joshua Gillen still going at it, but Gillen falls a little bit short, and here Damien Crump is able to propel past him off the exit of turn 4, and Gillen having no choice but to fall back in line so far to avoid losing more time and burning up his stuff even more. And so far, Damien Crump has been riding the outside line pretty much ever since we've gone green during the restart. But the 40 of Joshua Gillen so far is just trying to take while he can. And for the back in the pack, we have some more side-by-side going on between 23 of Matt Ridgway and 77 of Brian Wasserman. Wasserman here is breaks early, entering turn number 3. And Matt Ridgway goes in hot, but he's ends up pushing as a result. And at the same time, Brian Wasserman is going to benefit from that greatly and leave Matt Ridgway in his dust. And a big cluster here has been formed in the mid-pack. It's going to include Jason Anderson, Tommy Amasi, Chris Voiles, Jason Eisenhower, and the 31 of Andrew Riley. And Riley here is leading this pack so far with the help of 36 of Jason Eisenhower, who's getting very, very impatient and trying to get away from him or get around him. But 31 of Riley is not giving up, and neither is the 36 of Eisenhower. So only 21 laps in and more than half the field so far changing up their race lines. I'm seeing half the drivers going all the way high, trying to use the outside lane advantage to save those tires and get those slingshot off the turns, while some of the other half is using the inside lane so far, just pretty much trying to, gain time here, with only 21 laps in, but the drivers having about 17 laps of green flag racing on these tires this far. And a status check on the 7 of Gary Woolbot. Gary Woolbot decided to not use his backup car. If you remember correctly, ladies and gentlemen, he was involved in the first caution. He got the worst end of that deal, got sucked into the wall and spat out like no man's business, unfortunately. But he is still going nice and strong despite that. He's pushing about, he's doing 33-second lap times, which is about almost 1.5 seconds apart or slower than the rest of the field, or more than half the field, but he is still rolling nice and strong regardless. That's good to see. And the 18 of Rick Mason as well was one of the drivers who got a piece of the action. Wrong place, wrong time, had nowhere to go, and got a piece of the spinning 7 of Woolbot. And as we speak, Rick Mason, the Goodyear machine, so far is riding a 21st place spot. His next victim being the 23 of Matt Ridgway, who's about 1.8 seconds ahead of him. Going back up front, ladies and gentlemen, the leader, 80 of Jay Pryor, has some company. It's the 81 of Travis Pryor. These guys have been able to put about 3 seconds against their next opponents. Opponents. In this case, Wally Tierheimer and Steve Dutz, 4th and 3rd, respectively. Or third and fourth, they're backwards. And Travis Pryor, so far, both Pryor racing drivers, Jay Pryor and Travis Pryor, working together for a common good. And they are doing quite well, pulling off from the rest of the field, slowly but surely. And so far, we have 3 new drivers in the top 10. Garrett Helmlinger from 11th place to 5th. Joshua Gillen, 12th to 6th. And the 28 of Chris Voiles being the heaviest mover in the top 10 from 26th to the 10th place spot, or 24th to the 10th place spot, because 24 drivers did start tonight's race of the 31 of Andrew Riley. Andrew Riley here just got around the 28 of Chris Voiles and knocking out Chris Voiles, or I should say knocking Chris Voiles out of the top 10. And Andrew Riley's machine as well. Oh man, the caution flies on lap 27. Gonna see what happened.
Well, that's going to involve the 25 of Timothy McBrayer. As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, go back and take a look here, see what happened to Timothy McBrayer. It looked like contact between him and the 18 of Rick Mason, and hard into the outside wall. He goes around, bringing out our second caution of the night.
Oh man, that's unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. And Rick Mason, man, not catching a break, getting involved in both this one and the previous one. Oh, looks like, yeah, Rick Mason's machine was pushing up. They got very, very tight, and that's very, very unfortunate once again. Well, going back up front, we are being led by the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, who at this point is leading the whole entire pack, the whole entire field, down to pit road. But one driver happy to see the caution. That is the 7 of Gary Woolbot, the lucky dog spot. Yep, everybody pitting in as we speak, but the 7 of Gary Woolbert staying out for the lucky dog. And on pit road, looks like Jay Pryor lost the race off pit road to the 28 of Chris Voiles. But Jay Pryor comes out right behind him in second place. Wally Tieheimer beats Travis off pit road. And Wally comes out third, bumping Travis down to fourth place. And Steve Deuce rounding up the top 5 off pit road. Ooh, actually, the 28 of Chris Voiles was able to win the race off pit road because looks like he did not actually pit in. He did a drive-through, so looks like he missed his pit stall and will be forced to go down another time. Or they should say maybe he most likely will be going down for the green flag. Yep, Chris Voiles on pit road as we speak. And that gives the race lead back to the 28, I mean to the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. And this does give us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on the 12 of Brandon Ketchum. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joined up in the booth by Gillen Motorsports driver, the 12 of Brandon Ketchum. Kick up there, Brandon.
Yeah, I do.
How you doing tonight, man?
Been better. Kind of had a good qualifying lap, and then I forgot to make a minor adjustment to my car, so she's not handling the way I would like.
Oh man, very sorry to hear about that. Yeah, we noticed there early on you did start, you know, up there in the top 5. At one point you were in second place on the second start, in this case the first restart, if you will, and you ended up dropping to about 15th place and settled there for a little bit. But how are you handling it? How are you being able to manage it? What kind of countermeasures are you taking?
Try not to turn it in so sharp, back off a little bit earlier, try to get it to roll sooner so it doesn't slide up the track all the way on me, because she just is not wanting to turn on me.
Oh, most definitely, man. Well, man, we are glad that you've been able to figure something out to help it. It's not perfect, but it is helping, and so far you are currently 16th, starting behind the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer. We look forward to seeing you in victory lane tonight, man. Make us proud.
All right, thanks.
That was Gillen Motorsports driver, the 12 of Brandon Ketchum. We are now back 1 to green behind the pace car with the help of 8-0 of Jay Pryor, being assisted by the 81 of Travis Pryor. The outside line being led by Wally Tieheimer with the help of 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Very unfortunate for the 12 of Ketchum not having the machine meeting his expectations here. He talked about how he forgot to make an adjustment before the race began, and unfortunately he's going to be stuck with that all race long here tonight. But he's figured something out to help with the handling of it, and pretty much just the way the machine is doing around the track, and the caution has been extended going around one more time. And a new viewer in the chat, we have Pac-Man 9 Mil. Welcome back, Pac-Man. It's good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. And we are back 1 to green, the exact same lineup here. The top 10, we have Jay Pryor, Wally Tieheimer, Travis Pryor, Steve Dutz, Garrett Helmlinger, Joshua Gillen, Damian Crump, Ralph Vanneforst, Andrew Riley, and David White, 1st through 10th, respectively. And the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer. I haven't spoken much of Aaron Mercer tonight, but he is also an alien here with the Pro K&N series, starting right behind the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. And also the 7 of Gary Woolbot was able to get his wave around the pace car as promised. He's back on the lead lap. Oh, that pace car dips off an 80 of Jay. Pryor finds the gas pedal. 81 Travis. Pryor sees it coming in time to maintain the inside of Wally Tierheimer. Wally Tierheimer, the odd man out, gonna lose 2 spots here in 1 turn. 281 of Pryor and the 21 of Steve Dutz. We are green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 5 laps, we're going to be seeing the hardest racing on every single run, new run that is, because this is the most grip they'll have on these tires, and once that grip is gone, that means they'll have to end up backing it down, and that's going to promote a lot of single file driving. Also, keep in mind I use the term driving and not racing, because racing and driving are 2 totally different things. But here in second place, we have Steve Dutz applying some serious pressure to the 81 of Travis Pryor. And already everybody in the top 10 pretty much is now riding single file, but 49 of Timothy Hamlet is under fire from the 12 of Ketchum. Yep, Ketchum to his inside, but the machine does push. The machine says, nope, you have reached your limit. And off turn to Tim Hamlet, past him with a slingshot. This track, ladies and gentlemen, is all about setting each other up. It's all about their strategy, trying to save those tires and taking it while you can and avoiding pushing or forcing any matters, because that always is never a good thing, because I've seen so many drivers pushing very tight as a result of trying to make some moves. And we have 23 of Matt Ridgway so far being approached by the 05 of Tommy Massey. And last we checked on 23 of Matt Ridgway, his machine had seen better days, but now he has a brand new one, and a single scratch on it. And speaking of Ridgway, to the inside of the 12 of Brandon Ketchum, side by side they go. He clears Ketchum successfully, and now his next victim, 49 of Tim Hamlet. And the 28 of Chris Voyles, who made a mistake under caution during the pit stops, is now in his 15th place spot on the inside of the 05 of Tommy Massey, trying to make his presence known here so far, but has not just been fall back in line as the 05 of Tommy Massey was able to get a good run against him off turn 4 through turn 1. And we have one driver on pit road. It is the 31 of Andrew Riley. Oh man, Andrew Riley's machine very, very beat up in every single way you can imagine. And yes, that was an unscheduled pit stop. So hopefully Riley still has his backup car, so he can be able to still stay competitive. For the back in the pack, Brian Wasserman to the inside of 27 of Jason Anderson. Anderson's going to lose the spot to Brian Wasserman, and that bumps Anderson down to 18th and Wasserman up to 17th. And now Wasserman has his eyes on the prize. There is a 05, Tommy Massey. And Brian Wasserman, Tommy Massey coming up to a big cluster, involving 1-2-2 Aaron Mercer, Tim Hamlet. We have Chris Voyles, 12 of Ketchum, and the 23 of Matt Ridgway. And Chris Voyles to the outside of Ketchum, side by side. They go here throughout the front stretch. And Chris Voyles is helping the 49 of Tim Hamlet try to go past the 12 of Ketchum. Oh, contact between Ketchum and Chris Voyles. No harm done. And they do stay green flag racing and stay straight. Oh, one driver way off the pace, 25 of Timothy McBrayer on the apron. He's on the inside line, staying low, letting everybody by. And Tim McBrayer had some bad luck there during the last caution. As a result, he's now 5 laps down in 23rd and hoping to get all laps back before the race ends. The race is still young, ladies and gentlemen. 59 laps left. Well, going back up front, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor has put a 2.3-second lead against second, third, and fourth place drivers Travis Pryor, Steve Dute, and Wally Tierheimer. And looks like his lead keeps getting nothing but bigger. And a battle here for the 4th, 5th, and 6th place spots. We have Steve Dutes, Garrett Helmlinger, Damian Crump, Joshua Gillen. These drivers in a pack of their own. They end up going back single file. And so far, 94 of Helmlinger riding behind the 21 of Steve Dutes. But Damian Crump has a lot to say about that. Trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, going against both Helmlinger and 21 of Steve Dutes. And Damian Crump, an amazing driver who has had one of the roughest or toughest seasons here this season with the Extreme Motorsports Pro K&N Series, but has still been determined regardless, and has still been battling. And 45 laps in here, the top 10, we have Jay Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, Travis Pryor, Steve Dutes, Damian Crump, Garrett Helmlinger, Joshua Gillen, David White, Ralph Vanderforst, and Jason Eisenhower in the top 10. And that is Jason Eisenhower's first appearance in the top 10 in tonight's race. And so far, his next victim is Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst. And tonight we are missing Jason Eisenhower's brother, Adam Eisenhower. We look forward to seeing him tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Race 5 of 5. That is also the championship race of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com track series tomorrow night. Right here on the Dre Broadcasting Network as well. Right here at Homestead Miami Speedway. At the exact same time, the Xfinity Series as well is having their championship race on Wednesday night. And on Thursday night, the Cup Series as well, having their championship race. So basically, all oval series of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com have their championship races all this week. Steve Dute so far under fire from the 944 of Damian Crump. They have been going at it for the past 2-3 laps now. And off turn 4, Steve Dute slingshot engaged though with a high lane advantage and is being assisted by the 94 of Helmlinger. Past the 44, I should say, against the 44 of Damian Crump. The bad thing about this, Steve Dute is under fire, but he is saving tires while Damian Crump is doing a good job on the inside, but burning his stuff up at a fast rate. Oh, Steve Dukes gets very pushy. Oh man, that must make contact off turn 4. We have Damon Crump going all the way down low to avoid trouble. Nice save by both Dukes and Damon Crump. And Helmlinger backs off to let both drivers save it. Great sportsmanship, but that allows the 40 of Joshua Gillen to catch up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the halfway mark. 51 laps in and 50 laps remaining. Gonna take our first commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chevy Crate 200. That's a Chevy Crate 200, race 15 of 15. That's right, the final race of the season and the championship race in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro Can-Am Series right here at Homestead Miami Speedway live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers out there, first of all, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network, or welcome for the brand new viewers, and to be a part of the action here with the Extreme Motorsports, because the season is coming to an end. You have to have a minimum of 1,000 I rating and a maximum of 2,500 I rating. That only goes for the Pro Can-Am Series. So check them out at extrememotorsports99.com. Well, I see some new faces in the chat. We have Hal Amy the Third. Welcome back, Hal Amy the Third. That is the son to Hal Amy in the 83 tonight. One of the drivers here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Hope you're doing well tonight, Hal Amy the Third. We also have Chris Potter in the chat. Chris Potter, how you doing tonight, man? Hope you're doing well. And going back to the race, ladies and gentlemen, 61 laps in, 40 laps remaining, and the drivers at this point have 33 laps on their tires and tanks. With that said, here in the next 10 laps, green flag pit stops should kick in.
Yeah, if these guys can go about another 3 to 5 laps, though, they should be able to make it on one more pit stop.
Actually, that's a very, very good point indeed. Yep, just one pit stop. If that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to come down to only to the drivers who save tires the most, because this has proven to have become a long-run race, and these drivers know that. And at this point, they're all trying to get as close as possible to the race leader. Actually, Jay Pryor now peeling off as we speak, going down the taxi road, pitting in. And the first driver pitting in was the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger by Jay Pryor right behind him. But up front, Damien Crump takes over the race lead this time around with 35 laps on his tires. David White second, Ralph Vanderforst third, Timothy Hamlet fourth, and Brian Wassman in the 5th place spot. And pit road is nothing but busy as we speak. We have Jay Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, Joshua Gillen, Travis Pryor, Jason Eisenhower, Steve Dutz. We have Brandon Ketchum, Chris Voyles, Aaron Mercer, Gary Woolbot, Hal Amy, and Rick Mason all down pit road at this very moment. Well, Damien Crump still staying out an additional lap, but David White and Ralph Vanderforst down pit road, including the 77 of Wasserman.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, with these guys that just pitted, they pitted a couple laps early, though. Question is, are they going to be able to make it on fuel years? We see Damien Crump now on 36 laps with 37 laps to go.
Oh man, yeah, speaking of Damien Crump now peeling off, going down to pit road as we speak, and Matt Ridgway right on his tail as well, going down pit road. Yes, it's going to be very close. If Damien Crump and Matt Ridgway ran the tanks dry, that would mean the drivers are going to end up being at least a lap and a half short. Well, those two drivers, that is, but everybody else more than 1.5 laps short. But fingers crossed, we will find out. Well, scratch that. Jason Anderson is staying out 1 lap, having 37 laps on his tires. With that said, they should be able to make it on just this one pit stop. And Jason Eisenhower here going down pit road as we speak, and that cycles out the first round of green flag pit stops. And scanning the whole field, the driver who had the fastest pit stop was the 122 of Aaron Mercer. Oh, actually, he just got beat by the 44 of Damien Crump. Damien Crump having a 13.1 second pit stop compared to Aaron Mercer, 13.8 seconds. Then from there, we have Brian Wassman, 13.9 seconds. It was tied with David White, 13.9 seconds. And the list goes up from there. And here so far, we should have Jay Pryor taking back the race lead once the start finish line is crossed by him. Oh man, a new viewer in the chat. We have John Marine. Welcome back, John Marine. It's great to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. And Chris Potter, that's a very good good observation right there. Yes, drivers like we talked about, the drivers who pitted in the latest should be able to make it the rest of the way, but the other drivers like Jay Pryor, Helmlinger, Tierheimer, Gillen, Travis Pryor, these drivers just might be short on gas. Well, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Last week at Michigan, it also ended up becoming a fuel mileage race. We had half the drivers have to go down pit road, while the other half did not have to pit in because they already had pitted in under the caution. It made things extra interesting. And so far here tonight, the updated top 10: Jay Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, Garrett Helmlinger, Joshua Gillen, Travis Pryor, Chris Voiles, Damien Crump, David White, Steve Dutz, and Jason Eisenhower, 1st through 10th, respectively. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the field is spread out as expected. The green flag, pit stops like Dave talks about, do separate the men from the boys, and Jay Pryor is being shown 5.3 seconds ahead of second place driver Wally Tierheimer. And from there on, we have Garrett Helmlinger in 3rd place, 6.1 seconds behind the 80 of Jay Pryor. But the caution flies this time around on lap 70.
Going back to the Dre Broadcasting replay, looks like that might involve the 27 of Jason Anderson, I think. Here, let's see if we can see exactly what happened. Oh, I don't know. I can't seem to find what actually brought out the caution there.
Chris, that was 28 of Chris Voiles.
Yeah, let's take a look here on the 28 of Chris Voiles, see if that may have brought out the caution, but I'm not quite sure. There it is, coming into turns 3 and 4. Looked like he got into the outside wall and it just shot him around, and he tried to save it but could not save it. Got down on the apron in the grass. Kept it on the grass there, but unfortunately slid out onto the track, bringing out our 3rd caution of the night.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yes, that was unfortunate for Chris Voiles. Same thing that happened to Gary Woolbart there early on. Got sucked into the wall and spat out like no man's business. That was unfortunate indeed once again. But that could have been worse. So a nice save by Chris Voiles. But this is a good thing for a lot of drivers, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of drivers. Now we know everybody at this point is going to be able to make it the rest of the way. And Jay Pryor leading everybody down pit road, and the majority of the field is right behind him. We have some drivers staying out. Ralph Vanderforst, Gary Woolbart, and Brandon Ketchum. These 3 drivers on the lead lap decided to stay out. Oh man, Jay Pryor almost spins out, exiting pit road. He was beaten off pit road by Wally Tierheimer, and that places him 2nd place off pit road. But overall, in the 4th place spot. And our driver in line for the lucky dog is the 23 of Matt Ridgway. Actually, scratch that. The 12 of Brandon Ketchum already received the waiver on the pace car. So Ketchum back on the lead lap this time around. Well, that was a successful pit stop. I mean, successful green flag run by the drivers and successful pit stops by the drivers overall. And a new race leader, Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst, who decided to stay out, and that gives him 8 laps more on his tires compared to everybody else behind him. And from what we've been seeing so far with the tires, Ralph Vanderforst just might be at a big disadvantage when it comes down to another green flag run. At this point, we do have 28 laps left. And the updated top 10, actually the heaviest movers we have: Garrett Helmlinger, 11th place to 4th, Jason Eisenhower, 13th to 6th, Joshua Gillen, 12th to 7th, Gary Woolbot, 14th to 11th, Brian Wassman, 24th to 12th. We have Timothy Hamlet, 20th to 13th, Aaron Mercer from 23rd to 14th. And so far, those are the heaviest movers, but that will keep getting jumbled up as the race progresses. And so far, only 16 drivers on the lead lap, with Matt Ridgway, first driver, 1 lap down. Actually, Matt Ridgway, Jason Anderson, Hal Amy, and Andrew Riley all get 1 lap back. And back on the lead lap this time around. And Chris Voice, the status check, Chris Voice is still on pit road as we speak. And the driver has left the machine, so Chris Voice might be done for the evening, unfortunately. But going back up front, we are 1 to green, and Ralph Vanderforst in the race lead, and deciding to start up on the outside line. The leaders do have lane choice with the help of the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. On the inside line, Wally Tierheimer with the help of the 80 of Jay Pryor. Going green this time around. 26 lap shootout coming up. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, everybody can make it the rest of the way, which means now only, in this case, 1 less thing to worry about. So now it's about staying alive and maintaining their heavy feet. They still have to save those tires because we still have over 20 laps left in the race. Pace car is off, and Ralph Vanderforst finds the gas, but the green flag is out. Some wheel spin by both Tierheimer, Vanderforst, including Garrett Helmlinger. We are green flag racing, entering turn 1. And 2 by Tierheimer, Ralph Vanderforst, including Garrett Helmlinger and Jay Pryor, side by side, 3 wide against Ralph Vanderforst. They overtake him as though he's sitting still. Oh man, the 8-lap older tires are not doing him justice. As we speak, he's trying to hang on. He has settled for the 4th place spot for now, but the 40 of Gillen right on his tail, actually to his inside with the help of 21 of Steve Dutz. And a new race leader up front, Wally Tierheimer under fire from the 80 of Jay Pryor, side by side. Actually back single file, Jay Pryor was able to execute that pass successfully. And Wally now hangs on to 2nd place against 94 of Helmlinger, who is as well very hungry. Garrett Helmlinger as well under fire from the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Gillen was able to get to his inside, but off turn number 2, a slingshot engaged by Helmlinger. At the same time, Helmlinger is pulling the 81 of Pryor with him, and the caution flies this time around.
Well, that's going to involve the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. We're going to go back and take a look here at the 36 simspeedshop.com machine here, see exactly what happened. As we take a look here at the 36, as he was running, contact between Jason Eisenhower and it looks like Ralph Vanderforst gets Jason Eisenhower around and up on his roof. You know, that looks like a little bit of damage to that Sim Speed Shop machine.
Oh, indeed, man. Both Mr. Highside himself and Jason involved in that, and Brian Wassman was able to get around that successfully. And Jason taking some serious directional changes on his lid and spinning it in every single direction known to mankind. But the good thing is Jason has not used his backup car yet. So he will be able to do that and get back and stay in it to win it, to finish this thing nice and strong. But that was a very big setback for Jason. So still very unfortunate. But here on pit road, we have some drivers going down. Timothy Hamlet, Brandon Ketchum, Matt Ridgway, Jason Eisenhower, Hal Amy, and Rick Mason, all on pit road. But the majority of the field is staying out. And the driver next in line for the Lucky Dog is the 27 of Jason Anderson. Yep, Jason Anderson gets the wave around the pace car, gets around the field, and back on the lead lap on lap 79. And this, ladies and gentlemen, gives us time for a race interview. Let's focus on the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we joined up in the booth by an H&H Motorsports driver, Garrett Helmlinger. Get a up there, buddy.
Absolutely. How you doing, Sean?
Good, how are you, man?
I'm doing phenomenal. I have a great car right now.
Oh, indeed you do, man. You're not afraid to use that loud pedal and the great handling of your machine. Or in this case, you know, it's all up to the driver. So in this case, your amazing driving style. And Garrett, tonight you were third place in points while starting tonight's race. How are you feeling though?
Good. Just happy to be where I am going into the last race of the season, and especially with how I'm running tonight. It's looking like hopefully you can hold on to third.
Oh, indeed, man. And, you know, we've seen so many drivers having some difficulty with the machine, the machines pushing every now and then. Are you having any of those problems?
No. Well, on the long runs, oh yeah, it loves to push on the long runs. But in the short to mid runs, it's a joy to drive. I'm seeing a lot of people having troubles out there, but definitely once you lose that momentum, it's hard to get it back. So.
Oh, indeed, man. Well, Garrett, you've done an amazing job all season long, setting yourself up very well for the end of the season, starting third place here tonight. We look forward to seeing you 2 spots higher, and we hope that everything works out, man.
Thank you all very much.
That was H&H Motorsports driver, the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger, third place driver in points, starting tonight's race. And the funny thing is, the ironic thing in this case, the first, second, and third place drivers in points are actually bunched up together, basically. We have Wally Tierheimer second, Garrett Helmlinger third, and Travis Pryor fourth here as we speak. Travis Pryor first in points, Wally Tierheimer second in points, and Garrett Helmlinger third in points. This is gonna make things interesting. We put these 3 drivers together. A lot of things here will be taking place, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. They are each other's nightmares at this point. We are 1-2 green with the help of Jay Pryor, controlling the pace of the field, being assisted by the 94 of Helmlinger. On the outside line, Wally Tierheimer with the help of the 81 of Travis Pryor. We are going green. And once we go green, a 19-lap shootout coming up, ladies and gentlemen. That is 19 laps of green flag hammer down racing. So stay tuned, and the pace car dips off. Jay Pryor finds the gas, but the green flag is out. And Wally caught sleeping. 81 of Travis being a helping bumper here before turn 1. Wally goes down low to defend his spot against the 94 of Helmlinger, who's now to the inside of 81 of Travis Pryor. 94 of Helmlinger trying to maintain the 4th place spot here against the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen is a hungry man at this point. He's trying to take while he can. Less than 20 laps to go. It is go time for a lot of these drivers, if not all these drivers at this point. So far, single file from 1st to the 5th place spot. 80 of Jay Pryor down to the 40 of Joshua Gillen. But here for the back in the pack, the 12 of Ketchum is trying to make some moves against his opponents, the 7 of Woobot and the 1-2-2, Aaron Mercer. And Brandon Ketchum to the inside of the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer, side by side, but Ketchum pushes way wide, it pushes up, is forced to let off. Oh man, they almost made contact. Oh, momentum lost and speed by Ketchum, and a free launch program is being seen. An opportunity has opened for Gary Woobot and Jason Eisenhower. Speaking of Jason Eisenhower, he is back in it to win its brand new machine. Not a single scratch on that Seam Speed Shop machine. And now behind the 7 of Gary Woobot, at the same time ahead of the 66 of Ralph Vanneforst. Yeah, we had one driver hit the wall there. He could not quite get a number on them. But we are still green flag racing. And a cluster being formed behind the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer and the 12 of Ketchum. He has Gary Woobot, Jason Eisenhower, and Timothy Hamlet, Ralph Vanneforst, including the 23 of Matt Ridgway. But this guy is still going at it. 1-2-2 of Mercer seems to be boxed in. He's trying to get away from it so far. Gary Woobot and the 12 of Ketchum, but Ketchum propels past all the drivers off the exit of turn 4. And now his next victim is the 21 of Steve Dutz. And ladies and gentlemen, Gary Woobot is back from the dead. Gary Woobot got some bad luck there early on, went one lap down, was forced to use his backup car early on lap number 1. Well, actually, he didn't use it on lap 1, but he used it there once across the halfway mark in the race. But he is back in it to win it, going against the 1-2-2 of Mercer as we speak. And going back up front, about of second place between Travis Pryor and Wally Tierheimer. Off the exit of turn 4, Travis high lane advantage propels past Wally Tierheimer and bumps Tierheimer back down to 3rd place and himself up 2nd place. And now his next victim is his teammates, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor.
Pretty much all Travis has got to do right now is ride. He doesn't really got to win tonight's race to win the championship. He's currently top in points, so he just needs a good steady finish. But I mean, anything could happen here in the next 13 laps.
Oh man, yeah, we always talk about it. It's never over until it's over, ladies and gentlemen. We now have 12 laps left in tonight's race. 89 laps complete by these drivers, and everybody now is at their most aggressive, or I guess the aggression has been turned up by every single one of these drivers. And it is the closing stages. It is go time for every single one of them out there. And the gap between 1st and 2nd place drivers, Jay Pryor and Travis Pryor, is about 5/10 of a second. And further back in the pack, we have the 40 of Joshua Gillen on the inside of the 77 of Brian Wasserman. They are going at it side by side, but the driver on the outside wins that battle. That is Brian Wasserman, slingshot off turn 4, entering turn 1. They go back down single file, and Joshua Gillen is going to live to fight another lap here in the next few laps, most likely 1 to 2 laps. And for the back in the pack, I do see some more side by side going with 7 of Woobot. Actually, Woobot just lost the spot and a lot of speed and momentum against the 66 of Ralph Vanderforce and the 49 of Timothy Hamlet. And Jason Eisenhower going against the 7 of Gary Woobot. Not sure what happened to Gary Woobot, but he has lost a lot of speed. He is way under speed so far, trying to play catch-up against everybody else. 83 of Hal Amy so far, first driver, 1 lap down, hoping to get his lap back before the race ends. Is currently behind the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer, but no harm done. Aaron Mercer is in the 15th place spot on the lead lap, and Aaron Mercer's next victim being the 7 of Gary Woobot.
Going back up front though, looks like Travis Pryor has caught his uncle Jay Pryor as they are starting to pull away. They are about 1 second ahead of Wally Tierheimer, who's sitting back in third, but looks like these two are working together. Good job by Jay Pryor. He has led 81 laps here so far tonight with 8 laps to go.
Yep, 8 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means. Get the popcorn away, get your drinks away. You don't want to make a mess. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And hang on tight and put on at least 3 to 4 seatbelts, because 1 to 2 will not do the trick. Hang on tight once again. And a new driver in the top 5. That is Brian Wasserman. Well, his next victim so far is 44 of Damien Crump. Damien Crump so far is under pressure because 77 of Brian Wasserman is catching up to him at quite a fast rate. In the top 2 drivers, the 2 Pryors, Jay Pryor and Travis Pryor, are trying to pull away from the rest of the field. And so far it seems to be working. Well, they have caught each other like David talked about right there. But so far here, a cluster being formed for 3rd through about 7th place. We have Garrett Helmlinger, Damien Crump, Brian Wasserman, Joshua Gillen. These drivers having a race of their own as we speak. Some more action going on here. 23 of Matt Ridgway, 12 of Brandon Ketchum, Timothy Hamlet, a cluster of their own. 12 of Ketchum falls short of the exit of turn 4 against Matt Ridgway. And as a result, Ketchum is going to go from the 9th place spot to 10th place. Well, scratch that. To now 11th place, bumps down by Tim Hamlet. And that's right, John Marine, you called it. Next flag ends the race. 5 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the final 4 laps of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Season 2 Pro Can-Am Series. It's going to be a wild one. This is going to be a race to remember, ladies and gentlemen. And the caution flies. Oh, man, the caution flies. That ends the race. Gonna see what happened.
I do believe that's going to involve the 59 of David White as we pull up the Dre Broadcast and Instant Replay. As we see the 59 of David White and the 27 of Jason Anderson. Looks like they were battling, and a little bump there by David White, Jason Anderson going around. That is going to send them both around. None of them hitting the wall, but bringing out our caution that's going to end our race here tonight.
Oh man, yeah, that's unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. And I'm pretty sure Wally Tierheimer and Garrett Helmlinger were not wanting to see that caution, but that gave Travis quite the relief. Man, what a heck of a race by the drivers. What a way to end the season here tonight with a heck of a long green flag runs all race long, and so much side by side to go with it. Well, so far behind the pace car, we are being led by the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor 2nd, Wally Tierheimer 3rd, Garrett Helmlinger 4th, and Brian Wasserman in the 5th place position. We see Pat T in the chat celebrating. Yes, the second ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series, Travis Pryor. And ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for the top 3 interviews. Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, and Wally Tierheimer. And a driver gets the wave on the pace car back on the lead lap. That is Hal Amy. And just another reminder, ladies and gentlemen, sign-ups for the Pro K&N Series are opening. So please go to the website extrememotorsports99.com, drop the first E in Extreme, and start with the X, extrememotorsports99.com. Click on Pro K&N Series, go all the way down to the bottom of the page, and you'll find the sign-up button, or the register button, to be a part of the series for next season, so you can get a crack or a shot at being the 3rd ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. Yeah, Pat T is actually out of her seat right now. She's actually an available AFK, if you will, is celebrating. Well, tonight we're going to have 19 drivers finish on the lead lap. We have Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, Garrett Helmlinger, Brian Wasserman, Damian Crump, Joshua Gillen, Steve Dutz, Matt Ridgway, Timothy Hamlet, Brandon Ketchum, Aaron Mercer, Gary Woobot, Ralph Vanderforst, Jason Eisenhower, Jason Anderson, Tommy M. Massey, David White, and Hal Amy, 1st through 19th respectively, finishing on the lead lap. And we had Andrew Riley, first driver, a lap or more down, finishing 20th. Timothy McBrayer, 21st. Rick Mason, 22nd. Chris Voice, 23rd. And that rounds up the field here tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, off turn 4 for the final time this season, Extreme Motorsports 99.com, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, brings this thing home unchallenged at Homestead Miami Speedway. Man, oh man. Official results: Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, 1st through 3rd, respectively. Interviews coming up. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over yet. Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, and also one of our special guests for the final time this season.
Good job, guys. I couldn't resist with us sitting there. Hell yeah, that's a Maverick Motorsports burnout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, joined up in the booth by the top 3 drivers and a special guest. So Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, and a special guest, 44 of Damian Crump. Gonna start with tonight's race winner, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. Gonna come up there, buddy.
How you doing, Sean?
Good, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Wow, Maverick Motorsports brings it home, brings the championship home, the win tonight. Got to thank Brian Wassman and Aaron Mercer. A lot of communication tonight, and just a championship caliber team here.
Oh, indeed, man. You've done amazing all season long, Jay. You've had a lot of ups and downs, but despite that, you propelled and making history, winning the final race of the season number 2. Very, very impressive. And Jay, you are a rookie this season, but next season's veteran if you decide to stay in the Pro K&N series. With that said, how would you define or rate your experience here with the Extreme Motorsports?
Well, the first half of the season was definitely bumpy, just the tech end of things, and you have to make your mistakes to learn. And but second half of the season, we started learning how to get the speed out of the cars, and it's all come together. But I tell you what, it's a process here.
Oh, absolutely, man. I can only imagine. You've done an amazing job all season long. It's been very commendable. It doesn't go unnoticed. You never giving up, despite things not always going your way, man. Well, buddy, we know you're very anxious to go celebrate. So before we let you go celebrate, any final words?
Yes, Sean. Thank you guys at Drake Broadcasting. Thank Pat T.I. Paints, and of course Maverick Motorsports. Shout out to Hunter McDaniel and Ken Ladd. Thanks for y'all's help, and congratulations, Travis Pryor, on your championship.
Oh, Jay, man, it's been amazing seeing you grow once again, man, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future, buddy.
Thank you. See you next season.
That was the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. We're gonna actually hold off on the interview. Gonna save Travis for the last interview. Gonna move on to second place driver in points, Wally Tierheimer. Gonna go up there, Wally?
Yeah, I do, Sean.
How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good. Feel good after that race.
Oh, I can imagine, man. I'm pretty sure you were not wanting to see that caution, even though you had, one of your opponents, 94 Helmlinger, very, very close to you. There, those last couple of laps. But how was your experience tonight?
Honestly, I was trying to save my tires even up to the very end. I was just trying to not use every last tread because Garrett was on me, and I don't know if I could have held him off. I was just saving a little bit, and I had a little bit more in him, but I'm not positive I could have held him off for another 4 laps.
Oh, most definitely, man. And yeah, still great successes regardless. You'll notice that in the beginning, you just pretty much took it easy, but still kept up the pace enough to keep up with the top 5 drivers. When it came down to it, what was the most difficult part about tonight's race for you? Most challenging experience? Well,
when I was up, like you said, I was probably top 3, 4 most of the night, and I just trying to stay connected with those top 3 drivers. And it's really hard to not race into that corner when you see them there, and you can feel like you can gain ground, but you really got to pull your foot off the gas, because if you do that, you're going to end up in the in between 3 and 4 on the wall there. So that's the hardest thing, is just knowing that even though they look like they're right there, you got to back off, and you'll get them. Maybe you can get them next time, or live to fight them on another corner.
Oh, most definitely, man. And Wally, you've had quite a season, all season long. You've done amazing, and someone's gonna have to take over Travis Pryor's throne next season. With that said, we should expect to see you again next season.
Yeah, I'd love to be here. This was really this was an awesome experience. The whole season was. The first half, I don't think I had a finish in the top 5 until after about the 5th race. So I'm not positive, but it seemed like the first half was a little bit bumpy. The last half, like Jay was saying, in the last half, really, I came in. I've been talking to you practically every week, it seems like.
Absolutely. Well, buddy, congrats on your success all season long. It's been amazing seeing and watching you grow as a driver with every single week, every single race. Well, before you let you go celebrate, any final words?
Well, I want to thank you and Dave for the broadcast, because it's always been really fun to go back and watch. Thank my mom for watching as many races as she could. I don't know if she was watching tonight, but she probably will eventually. And thank Chris Voiles and Steve Dutz, and when he was up there, and Kerry Cleaver when he was up there in Bandit Motorsports. And we had some good finishes and some good teamwork on Bandit Motorsports this season. And thanks to the Extreme and all the guys. They put on a good league here.
Well, congrats, Wally, on your success all season long. We look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Go celebrate, buddy. You earned it.
All right, thanks, Sean.
That was 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Yep, they had trouble moving him. That was Wally Tierheimer finishing in 3rd place spot and finishing 2nd place in points. But now moving on to our special guest before we go to the champion, 44 of Damian Crump. Get up there, Damian.
How you guys doing up there in the booth?
Good, how are you, man?
Ooh, I'm a little bit worn out. Just drove the car as best as I could.
Oh, yes, you did. You defined what it means to drive the wheels or the crap out of a machine, man. We saw you pushing very tight in almost every single turn and battling heavily at the exact same time. But how's your experience to end the season tonight?
Well, as soon as I saw on the schedule that Homestead was the final race, I love it. I love Homestead. I've actually am a season ticket holder for the past decade, so I know a little bit about it. I'm not saying that I'm like the best, as clearly I didn't win, but I enjoy coming here every time.
Oh, most definitely, man. You showed that tonight, finishing here in the top 10, right below Brian Wassman, just right outside the top 5. And Damon, we know you've not had the season that you would have loved to have, but you've still been here week after week, doing the best that you could. But after racing this season, man, what do you think you would change to maybe have a better season next time?
Probably a little bit more patience, because I've looked back at some of the races, and if I would have just stayed calm and not been so emotional, probably would have got better out of it. But that's pretty much the only thing I can think about changing.
Oh, most definitely, man. Well, man, it's been still nice seeing you grow all season long. And starting tonight's race, you were 8th place in points, and it's been once again, congrats on your success all season long, despite the a lot of downs than ups. Hopefully, go celebrate. Any final words, Damien? Any final words?
I would just like to thank you guys up in the booth. Like everybody, we go back and watch the races, and you guys just put on a show every time. I've even showed some of my coworkers, and as a Florida boy, I made this special paint scheme for the Florida Highway Patrol, because this may be my last season, because I'm actually trying to go to the academy in June to be a state trooper, so this is just my tribute for them.
Oh, copy that, brother. That's an amazing thing you're doing there, and we wish you the best of luck. You don't even need the luck, man, but we wish you all the best in the upcoming future, man. It's been amazing watching you grow week after week, and look forward to hearing from you soon.
All right, thank you, guys.
That was the 44 of Damon Crump, actually moving up one spot. He started 8th place in points tonight, but now moved up to 7th place. Very impressive. But next in line, what you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, the 2nd ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro Can-Am Series 81 Maverick Motorsports driver, Travis Pryor. Get up there, buddy.
Yes, I do. How are y'all doing?
Oh, well, most likely not as good as you are. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing awesome, man. That this season couldn't have turned out any better than it could have, and this just to cap it off with the kind of race that Maverick Motorsports and our team had tonight, just puts icing on the cake and just makes this season just a great success for all of us.
Oh, indeed, man. We talked about early on how, despite everything you've gone through, you've still managed to pull through that regardless. Early on, we talked about how you changed your mindset. The mindset, very, very important. And you changing your mindset from last season's mindset was very, very beneficial. And you yourself said that very, very early on. And tonight's been putting on an amazing show. And actually, coming into tonight's race, how much pressure were you feeling, man? Because I can imagine how it felt, knowing that everything can go south in just with one mistake.
Oh, definitely. Last week at Michigan, I was just wanting to go in that race and be conservative, try to get a decent finish, run up front as much as I can. And things just didn't go my way that race, and that really put some stress on me. I was hoping just to be able to come to Homestead and just build a race and not have to worry about racing anyone for points or any risk of losing this championship. And I have to say, Wally definitely poured it on me the last part of the season here, and he definitely made me work for it. But I have to say, I definitely would like to work to win this championship against someone like him. You know, he's awesome, great driver, and I respect him a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure coming in tonight. But me and my uncle Jay Pryor put a lot of practice in, and so hopefully, I think we think it played off for us pretty well.
Oh, indeed, man. A great success on your part all race long as a team, actually. You know, like you talked about you and your uncle, Jay Pryor and Travis. We have so many upcoming, you know, future champions out there in the chat watching us live, even watching this race after it's live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. What would be your advice for success? Or basically, what would be your words of wisdom to them?
I'd say the best thing, advice, is just patience. You know, this stuff doesn't come easy, and a lot of people make it look easy. You go out there and you try to do what they do, and you find out it's just 10 times harder than the way it looks. That's the biggest thing I learned from season 1 to season 2 is patience, and that's definitely will play a factor in your season. And another thing, you just gotta ask questions, man. You just gotta if you see someone that you know that you race against every week, and you see where he's beating you, or you see where you can see you make your game stronger. You know, just ask questions. You know, just see what they're doing. There's plenty of people that will definitely help you, and you know, those people that are out there to help you, give you advice, and help get you better, are the ones who want to keep close to you. And you know, one day, hopefully, you'll be helping them one day. You know, make them even better. And I think that's the best thing about racing.
Oh man, very, very nicely said. And ladies and gentlemen, Season 2 champion right here, Travis Pryor, Maverick Motorsports driver. So the throne goes from the Maverick Motorsports driver, Hunter McDaniel, to a Maverick Motorsports driver, his fellow teammate, Travis Pryor. So Hunter McDaniel and Travis Pryor, first and second season champions in the Pro Can-In series. And Travis, with all this great success comes a lot more success in the near future with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com. So basically, what are your plans for next season?
Next year, I'm gonna step up and move up to the Xfinity series. See what that's all about. You know, I raced a few races. I think 2 or 3 races this year as a standby driver, and I completely loved it. And I love the way they drive. I love the thinking you have to do in that type of racing. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm gonna race the truck series as well. You know, see if I can follow into Hunter and Ken's footsteps again, just like I did in the K&N series this year. See if I can put myself close for a championship in there. You know, who knows? But all I know is, leaving the K&N series, I definitely learned everything that this series is meant for. Definitely anything that I do in the future is going to come back to what I learned in this series right here. And I'd have to say Maverick Motorsports has 3 great drivers next year that can have a chance to take my throne and try to keep this championship in Maverick Motorsports.
Oh man, well buddy, we wish you the best of luck. We wish you all the best in the upcoming your upcoming future decisions. When you talked about, you know, the truck series and the Xfinity series getting promoted, that's a huge deal. And with that said, you need no luck whatsoever. You've done amazing, and you know, that does not go unnoticed. And we have Pat T in the chat, who was yelling and screaming, and she most likely still is. She is celebrating. Happy for you this season, and Jay Pryor as well, included in that. Well, we know you want to go celebrate with Pat T and Jay Pryor. So before you go any final words for the season.
Yeah. So I'd have to say, you know, I couldn't do anything without the support I have from my family and friends. And Pat T, anytime there was anything going on in the race, you know, she definitely helped me get my head straight and come back next week and try it again. You know, I can't thank her enough. You know, I'll look her up soon in the future with Pat T Paints. You know, she's doing a great job with these paint schemes. Extreme Motorsports still doing a great job with their series. I can't wait for the future of this league to see how bigger this league can get. And I'd love to be a part of it. And thank you guys for what y'all done all year, all season. Y'all do a great job every week. Can't thank y'all enough, and everyone else that supports me and all the other drivers out here.
Well, Travis, congrats on tonight's success, but most importantly, congrats on taking the title, the throne away from your teammate Hunter McDaniel and being the second ever champion of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. You are going down in the history books of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. We look forward to seeing you again next season in the Track Series and Xfinity Series. Now, buddy, go celebrate.
I will, thank you.
And that was the 81 of Travis Pryor, second ever champion, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. And joining us up in the booth is a special guest, the 18, well, he's 18 in the Truck Series, but Rick Donathan. Look up there, Rick.
Hey guys, how are you this evening?
Oh man, doing well. You know, we've had an amazing season here in the Pro K&N Series, both seasons, and it's sad to see the season end.
Yep, another season ender here, and I just wanted to come up and congratulate Travis Pryor on the championship this season. We have been doing some numbers and calculating some numbers. We've had a situation this week to happen with our points, and we've got everything all squared away and calculated some things. And Travis Pryor, just want to say congratulations to you for being this season's K&N Series champion, and we appreciate you being here. You're definitely an asset to this community, and I believe I heard a little earlier a truck ride in the future for you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to next year to see what it brings me. You know, I'm hoping to tackle these trucks, you know, the way I've done the K&N car, and hopefully I can learn anything I can from any teammates or any other drivers I learn from to see what the future holds me in the trucks.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, Travis, I'm going to let you get back over there and sip on the champagne. And just wanted to come up. Dave, Sean, you guys have been great to us once again this season. Done a phenomenal job here with us. And, hey, we still got you coming up tomorrow night in the Truck Series. That finale there.
Absolutely, man. It's been an amazing ride, you know, all season long in both this series, 2 seasons, and the Track Series included. We're looking forward to also ending tomorrow night's Track Series nice and strong, seeing who can take on the legacy of the 6 of Tom Wetmore from last season. Man, it's been an exciting ride all season long once again, and it's been, we also want to thank you for having the Dre Broadcasting Network on board.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, Dre Broadcasting, if you guys are looking for a broadcast, I tell you, these guys couldn't ask for anything more. They've been great to us, and we really enjoyed you guys being up in the booth. And I know the guys down below there, they've been static over you guys and the job well done that you both have done.
Oh, thank you very much, sir, for the kind words. It goes a very long way. I look forward to ending this season nice and strong tomorrow night as well.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow night. And viewers, hey, we definitely want to thank you guys out there for tuning in with us each week. We're rooting these K&N drivers on, rooting these Truck Series drivers on. Definitely a big thank you out there, Sean, to those viewers out there. We really appreciate their support. We appreciate them being here week to week. And we got some things coming to Extreme Motorsports, and hopefully we can make some things just as exciting, not only for our drivers, but I've got some ideas to really get that fans out there involved with a few things. So we're going to see what we can come up with.
Oh yeah, you heard it right there, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right there from Rick Donathan. A lot of things coming up to with the Extreme Motorsports. We talked about how this league is already great, but it's getting nothing but greater, and you guys get to be a part of it. So once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X. That's ExtremeMotorsports99.com.
Thanks, guys.
And that was Rick Donathan here, one of the main admins, the owner of the league. It's very well organized, and definitely check them out, ladies and gentlemen. To be able to be a qualifying driver for the Pro K&N Series next season, you have to have a minimum I rating of 1,000, maximum I rating of 2,500 to be a part of the action. So ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night we conclude another great series, the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Track Series, the Chevy Crate 200 Chase Race 5 of 5, the race of the championship. The question remains, who will take over the throne of Tom Whitmore, last season's champion and the champion of the season before last. So be sure to be there to be a part of that. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly behind the cameras, and thank you to every single one of you for making the Extreme Motorsports99.com Pro K&N series an amazing series with support here live on the Dre Broadcasting Network. We can never thank you guys enough. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.